What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Check Swing Podcast with myself. And of course, the brains and brawn of the situation, Coach Miguel Santa. We are back. We are here for the midweek. Y'all know how we get down. We are your favorite Wednesday podcast hosts because we do it live, all the way live. We ain't playing no games. A lot of stuff to talk about today. Football has started. The Phillies are rolling. A lot of things to get across. But before we get across all that, gotta ask my folks how they been. Miguel,
Sir,
how you been?
I am tired and or cranky.
And or cranky, huh?
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not even sure.
today I had my left knee drained and got the whatchamacallit, the cortisone injection, so that part feels a lot better. I can do my fake ninja kick. Um just not in front of my dog Luna because she thinks we're playing and she kicks back pretty hard. So
And probably doesn't know when it's time to stop playing.
yeah, she's now up to like 73 pounds.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Luna. What up, Luna?
Shut
Um
You almost made me cuss.
sorry.
She's napping.
Let me leave her alone then. Sorry.
She's
I will,
napping and passing
I
gas.
will yell out her name later.
She's napping and passing gas. Thank you very much.
Oh, and dog farts stink. From
You know
experience,
what?
farts
But
are
it depends on the food that you feed them. Because hers is almost like a chicken potpourri.
makes me question what kind of foods you eat. Chicken potpourri. Not even sure, and I don't want to know.
just go with it, man. Just go with it.
Yep, yeah. That's what I'll do. I'll go with it because I have no idea. Um, but like I said, we got some things to go through today, and first of all, let's just start off by talking about what made national news. Made national news. It's kind of I didn't even think of it. It made national news because of the kid. Really, I didn't even think of it that way. I never even thought about the kid in the situation. But of course, I'm talking about Philly's Karen. That's what they've called her, Philly's Karen. When the Phillies were down in Florida, in Miami, playing the Miami Marlins, a home run was hit by Harrison Bader. And if you ever watched a baseball game, when a foul ball or a home run or something is hit, people go after the ball. They go get the ball to try to get their souvenir, right? And this man went over about half a row down to get the ball, and he came up with the ball. He ended up getting the ball. He walked back to his seat. If you haven't seen the video, he walked back to his seat and he gave his son the ball. Put the ball in his son's glove. Out of nowhere, Philly's Karen. We don't know where it's Philly's Karen yet, but Philly's Karen shows up and long story short, basically demands the ball back. He obliges, and you know it is what it is. Some people say he did the right thing. Some people say he did the wrong thing. But shout out to the Marlins and the Phillies who got wind of the situation. The Marlins gave the kid, I think, a swag bag with some stuff. I guess they tried to, get themselves a Marlins fan from a Phillies fan. But the Phillies also invited the family down to meet Harrison Bader, gave him a signed bat, meet and greet, whole situation. So shout out to the Phillies, shout out to the Marlins for handling that situation. I don't know what this lady was thinking, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know what games she's been to, but she felt like she had the right to that ball. Go ahead, Miguel. I know you're about to say something. Go ahead.
Well, and it goes beyond that. There's actually video of her after the incident happened where she goes down to, I think, another person. He was dressed in an Eagles jersey who was also part of that group that was getting the ball, and she was in his face.
Really? I didn't catch
Mhm.
this.
I found the video. If you wanna, we don't have to play the sound, but we can. I'll cue it up. But yeah, she got in this other dude's face, and then wound up. There it is. You want to hit the yeah. So there she is reprimanding this other dude who was also part of the whole thing. This was after she got the ball, and then you don't hear it because I turned the video or the audio off. The fans start kind of getting on her. They start booing, and then she starts giving everybody the finger. And she's hearing it from the upper deck, from the lower deck, from the sides. So, there were rumors that she's from New Jersey, and I'm like, that would be so typical. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
But
that that situation was she had to be drunk,
he-
right? She was
here's,
tripping.
I mean, it could have been for you to be so clueless and then to be yelling at people in the upper deck and then giving them the bird. Like, you're clueless. You're absolutely clueless.
Yeah, that was that. I don't know, man. That that,
So,
that doesn't make no sense.
and here was the fun. So, yeah, I would say kudos to the dad because at the end of the day, look, I don't want no heat. Take the damn baseball. There's more important things. I just think, he de-escalated the situation. You know, I don't know if I would have done it that way, but
Yeah, I think he played the right tunes on that.
especially because you're in front of your wife and all of your children. You know what I mean? Like, and you're on television. It could have gone a whole different way
A whole
if
different
he
way.
starts swinging and throwing her down. Right,
I
but
I'll tell you
it
what.
definitely does.
Go ahead.
No, it doesn't put the lady, whatever her name is, in a good light. I think the funniest one was Cruella de Vil.
Oh, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, they call it. Because it's the hair. She's
Yeah.
got the white hair. She looks like. But somebody had posted. I don't know if it was a radio station, or a celebrity. They said that they will pay $5,000 for the baseball, but she has to sign it. I'm sorry.
Why? Like why? Why would you
So,
do that?
okay, so it was a online baseball retailer, Blowout Cards. Never heard of them. They said they're offering 5,000 for the ball, but only if she signs it with an apology. They are quoted as saying, "We'll offer 5,000 for that baseball right here, right now, but there's a catch. We want the ball signed and inscribed by her and only her, whoever she is. I'm sorry, so we can simply give it back to the kid. Our offer is official and our offer is firm."
Shoot, I'd give it back for 5,000.
I would too, because I mean that baseball's what, $80. That's a fair swap. I'll take it.
Shoot, that baseball. I mean, yeah, like a dozen of them about $80. Yeah.
And when you get a chance, the Savannah Bananas reenacted the whole incident. By the way,
So did some mascots out in
yeah.
San Diego. No, that
Sorry, Bryce Harper just hit a home run.
hasn't happened on my TV yet. Thanks.
I'm sorry. I apologize, but it's coming.
Get out, ball.
There it is.
Hey, Bryce Harper just hit a home run.
What
He
was
just
that?
hit
Four
one in
seconds?
Philly. He hit one in Baltimore a few seconds ago, but he just hit one in Philly just
It
now.
just landed in Philly. There it is.
So we talk about that a little bit, but let's talk about the Phillies a little bit. Just
Oh,
some quick. Oh, go ahead.
one more thing about that. The last thing. The father was asked, how you feel about the situation. Because allegedly she was a school teacher and got fired. That wasn't true. Allegedly she, all these things. And he's quoted as saying, "Please don't do anything to that lady. Leave it alone."
Oh, that was him that said that.
He said that, and he also said that maybe she has some friends, people in her circle who can kind of explain it to her. Let that happen, like, naturally, but just leave it alone. It's all.
So he sounds like a stand-up guy. Sounds like
Yeah. He
stand-up
sounds
guy.
like he's from Philadelphia and not from New Jersey.
You have a thing about New Jersey, I tell you. Huh?
They just
You got to think about New Jersey.
New
I
Jersey.
like
Well, first, New Jersey's not a state.
See, there you go. See, I like Jersey.
New Jersey's the Florida of the North.
It almost sounds like a good thing, but I'm sure it's not meant to be a good
Oh,
thing coming from
it's
you.
not meant
So,
to be.
like, I'm not a big fan of Florida either, but
Well, Florida's the New Jersey
I
of
like
the
seeing it in
South.
the wintertime.
Florida's the New Jersey of the South with higher humidity and gators.
Okay, and they both have casinos, so I'm cool with that. Um, so speaking of Bryce Harper hitting the home run there, the Phillies are rolling right now. They are right now. The score is 9-1 in the seventh inning, the bottom of the seventh inning. So you don't need to turn it on because you might as well watch us. But they're doing it without Trey Turner and Alec Bohm. Trey Turner with a hamstring issue, Alec Bohm with a shoulder issue. He had to have a cyst drained in the shoulder.
Ooh, that
They're
sounds.
doing it without Zach Wheeler, as we spoke last week. Um, and last couple of days they were doing it without Brandon Marsh, who some would say, well, it's Brandon Marsh, but Brandon Marsh has been doing very well these last last month or so, probably month and a half. He's been playing very well. He's in the game tonight, though. Miguel, I gotta ask you because you know how I am with these Phillies. I want to ask you your perspective on this. Are they? Is this what the Phillies are? Are they? Is this what we're going to? Do you feel like this is what we're going to see rolling into the playoffs, or is this one of their ups from when they have their ups and their downs? It feels different to me right now, and I think I said that last week too. It feels different.
Yeah, it felt. I was. I think if it were, you asked me last week, I would say it's one of the ups or downs, right? But
Mhm.
they crapped the bed when they were in New York a couple weeks ago. They got swept, right? Or they I think they lost like 3 out of 4 or something.
No, they got
Looked
swept in New York.
right, and they looked embarrassing. But between last night and tonight, they're taking care of business. So part of me is like it's baseball. It's such a long season, and then it's the Phillies who are always up and down. But it's always something about I don't know if I'm at that point where it's like when the Eagles lost Wentz or when the Eagles lost like because I think in that season they all before they lost Wentz they lost Sproles, they lost Jason Peters, so it was like oh man, but then losing Wentz was like, and when they lost Wheeler, that's how I kind of felt when we lost Wentz.
Mhm.
But then it's like wait a minute, now they're playing good. I'm like is this that magic carpet run that because the Philly sports, whenever we win championships or compete to get to championships or win a championships, never been easy, never been simple. You know what I mean? I don't think.
No, I feel like I agree with you, but I feel like the Eagles last year was a little easy, a little on the easy side. They lost
Well,
3 games going into the playoffs. Obviously, they didn't lose any in the playoffs, but
right, but remember there was that stretch when they started. I think we were what
first four
3.
games were two and
Yeah,
two.
2-2, right? And I think it was after the game we lost in did we lose in New Orleans or
No,
no?
they beat New Orleans. It was the
It was
Brazil game. They beat the Packers, lost to the Falcons,
and then we lost to
lost,
Tampa Bay again.
lost to Tampa Bay. Then they beat New Orleans. Or no, did they beat New Orleans and then the Browns, or the Browns and then I think they beat the I think they beat the
It was New Orleans and then the Browns because after the Tampa Bay game, that's when everybody was calling for, including myself, was
Mhm.
calling for Sirianni's head, and then I think against the Browns is when he did that stupid when he shaved his hair and all that stuff, and I was like, they need to just take him out of the building, and
Another example of why I called you an emotional
I'm
Philly
not
fan.
emotional. It's a fact. Who does that? Who does that? But people from New Jersey. It's a Jersey thing.
So the Phillies are rolling, and I actually said something to my wife just the other day. I said, man, when the Eagles won that Super Bowl, they had a lot of people drop. A lot of people go down to injury, and it's happening with the Phillies right now. Not saying it's the same thing, different sport, different eras, different times, or whatever. Um, but it's just the knowing that it can still be done.
Well, and the
You know,
other thing is,
it can still be done.
too is like look who's replacing Turner and Bohm. It's Sosa.
Weston Wilson, uh,
Wilson, okay. Wilson's okay, but Sosa, like,
Sosa, yeah, Sosa's decent.
and Bader's been a big surprise, a big beautiful
Bader's,
surprise.
Bader's been tough. Bader's been good.
Um, yeah, so it's like, and then Otto Kemp. It's like these are like role players that are like filling in very nicely. And I think that's what the difference is between this year's team and last year's team. Is like everybody last year that we had to replace certain people, you knew they were just literally there. As soon as those players were going to return, it's like I just
Let me ask you this.
don't look at your
Um,
TV.
now I want to look real bad. I look just in time.
Did you? You see how hard? You see how hard he hit?
He crushed that ball.
Woo.
Crushed that ball of Alvarado. See. Anyway, um, should have listened to you.
Sorry.
Um, lost my train of thought. Oh, who? So the Phillies are going to have some decisions to make this offseason, right? You got JT, you got Schwarber, you got Ranger, you got Castellanos, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think the Phillies are able to keep them all. I kind of doubt that they would even want to keep them all.
Well, especially if they're all expecting raises, which when you're
Right.
hitting free agency, you're expecting a raise.
But here's my question to you. My question is not who should they keep? Who can't they afford to lose?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I should have prepped you with this question beforehand, but it just came to my head. Who can't they afford to lose? And while you think about it, I'll kind of give you my perspective on it. I feel like the two they can't afford to lose, and you might be surprised by what I say, Ranger and JT. I feel
Hmm.
like they can't afford to lose Ranger and JT. I also feel like they can't afford to lose Schwarber, but you can get a bopper, right? Schwarber is one of the best home run hitters today, obviously. And it's hard to find a best home run hitter of today, but you can find a bopper, right? But Ranger, because he pitches well, he's a lefty pitcher, pitches well, and we really don't know about Zach Wheeler right now, and we do know that he's not going to be looking for a new contract. So in a couple years, if you lose Ranger, you're down two starter pitchers. Now you got Painter and all like that, but we still don't know about him. It's a prospect. We have no
Touche.
idea about him.
Mhm.
And JT is a solid hitter, but he's one of the better catchers in the game. Now I don't think his arm is as strong as it once was, personally, but he can call a great game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and those two guys, I don't think you can really afford to lose. I think the most expendable out of that group is Castellanos. Not the greatest defensive outfielder, gets replaced late in games quite often lately. Um, and then Schwarber, he's your DH. Find another DH. Now, would I overpay for Schwarber? Yes, but not too much. I wouldn't break the bank, but I might overpay a little bit to keep him around because he's a DH. He'll probably be playing for a while. I'm thinking David Ortiz, Big Poppy, thinking that. But now that I've said my piece, Miguel, how do you feel? Who can that blah, 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 blah. Who can the
We
Phillies not afford to lose?
la, 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 la. Um,
Coming up, we talking some Eagles, y'all.
I would lean towards JT, but he's at that age
Hmm.
where catchers start thinking about playing a secondary position like first base or DHing. Um, and I know the Phillies had this habit, especially in the mid 2010s or early 2010s, where they kept players too long, like your Chase Utleys, your Ryan Howards. I don't think they
Home
really. I don't think they
homegrown
kept.
kept too long.
Yeah, I don't think they. I don't think they kept J Roll too long, but like I think there were certain players they kept too long.
I think so. Let me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you get back
You
to.
good? You good?
I don't feel like they kept Chase and J. Roll and Ryan too long. Ryan got hurt. Um, but I feel like they bought him up too late.
They did, and yeah, and that was always the argument then too. So yeah, you're right. Because of that stupid rule that they had, where we don't want to bring them up too early, and all that stuff, which they still do because that's what they're doing with Crawford right now because he's still tearing it up in AAA. There's no reason why he's not up now, but
Yeah, I'm
um,
surprised he's not up right now. But yeah, I mean, outfield's kind of solid right now. So
so I kind of I don't know if I'm cheating, but I guess I'm cheating. I'm looking at the potential free agents for 2025 for this coming
okay.
upcoming
That's not
offseason.
cheating. That's doing your homework. But
Yeah,
while
so
but
because
while this is going on,
when you said like oh you can get a bopper, and I'm looking at the names out there, and you're right, um, except for catcher, because like so you got Salvador Perez, who's like the Royals legend catcher.
I didn't even know he was still
Um,
playing.
he's still playing, but he's like 34, 35. So you don't want to replace one older catcher with another.
Right.
Mitch Garver, Gary Sanchez, who's not even a good defensive human. Not there's no other than that. There's no other big names behind the plate. So I would probably
So you got to
re-sign
bring
JT.
back JT. Got to
Yeah,
bring back.
I would do something like maybe 3 years with like an option for a fourth. You know what I mean? Like do some
Mm.
performance incentives. Play him a little less. Get his backup in there. Um,
Marshawn,
Marshawn, who defensively isn't he's okay. He's not a Remuto.
decent. Yeah, he's decent.
He's decent, but it's like his
His
bat
bat
is
hasn't caught up
yeah.
yet. Bad.
Now the other names that come up, Pete Alonso. Um,
Nah. I'm
sorry,
sorry. He's a Met. I'm sorry. He's a Met.
but he has an opt out. He's not hurt. Okay, so
It just like I know Lenny Dykstra was a Met. I know Harrison Bader was a Met, but I can't fix myself to be like, yeah, go get Pete Alonso.
don't
He's a
bring up
Met.
Lenny Dykstra in the conversation. He's a degenerate jackwagon.
Yeah, but that's because he was a Met
No, he's a horrible human being now and was then.
because he was a Met.
There you go. Okay. Um, but a couple of names that are interesting to me.
Kepler hit a home run.
That's why I did that.
Oh, okay.
Um, Luis Arias is available.
Don't know him. I mean, I know the name, but I don't. I'm not familiar with his game
So he's your old school contact hitter. Constantly hits like in the 290s, 300s. Does not strike out. Defensively, a little slew of foot. But if you needed like a real good contact hitter, which the Phillies don't really have, he would be an interesting name.
that would be
Um,
great. I feel like JT's their contact hitter right now.
yeah, I guess you could, but no,
Gotta
but
go
like
home too.
he's a lefty second baseman, but he hits like inside out. He's almost like I guess he would be like, I don't know if you've seen Rod Carew play back in the day. He would be like that. Like he literally focuses on just getting hits. He doesn't focus on launch angle or anything like that. He's all contact and he wants to move base runners over, stuff like that. Um, Ozzy Albert, that's a club option. Eugenio Suarez, he was the one that he played for the Reds and was traded to Seattle.
I gotta stop you, Miguel, because you didn't went away from the question. Now we talking about free agents.
I'm sorry.
I want to know. I want to know
Yeah,
who the
no, so
Cowboys go
it
to.
was just an example of what you had said about this boppers. All right, let me bring it back. So if I had to choose the two,
And can they even bring back two?
they could.
Just say Ranger and JT because we know it's not Castellanos.
No, I honestly would go Schwarber.
Really?
Yeah, I would go Schwarber and JT. And I only say that because I think JT is that good with pitchers, and you still have what's the name in the minors, Andrew Painter. So you get him for you. You have to call him up. Like you said, he's the future. You held him from any trades. Bring him up and see what the hell he can do. And if he's this future version of Zach Wheeler, then you pair him up with JT Romuto, then you know what I mean. You kind of solve your problem by replacing Ranger with this potential all star.
It's not a bad soliloquy you put forth. It's not bad. I like the way you're thinking. I have a little bit of hesitation with Painter, and it's not even Painter's fault. I really don't. I don't watch Painter. I don't know what he's doing down there.
He's not
My
doing it.
hesitation is because of and please remind me of what his who because I'm going to mess his name up. I think it was Haywood. Was it Haywood pitcher a couple years ago that couldn't get past 4 innings? He was lights out for 3 innings, but fourth inning he could not get past the fourth. They ended up trading him, but he was a
The
young guy that brought
Vinny
up. He was lights
Vinny
out for 3 innings.
Haywood.
It was a Haywood. Last name was like Hay. I feel like his last name was Haywood.
Oh no! That is Spencer Howard.
Spencer Howard. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I'm very because of that because he was supposed to be that guy,
See, but
or he was supposed to be a guy.
he was supposed to be that guy. He was, but he wasn't. Did he throw like triple digits or whatever?
I don't think he was a triple digit guy.
My whole thing was with that. Why did they not just make him into a closer? Because obviously, if he was burnt out after 3 innings,
Right. A bullpen guy, a closer, absolutely. I agree. I don't
but I think that's where the player, because everywhere he goes, he's like trying to start. It's like you're not a
well, starters
starter.
make the money.
I mean, I
Starters
guess,
make
but they also pitch more than 4 innings.
they do. You need to be able to pitch more than 4 innings. Let's move on real quick. Real quick baseball note. Dodgers lose. I'll let you say it because it happened in your one of them happened in your city.
In my
In the
city.
city that you live in, it's not your city. Your city is in the city that you live in.
So 2 times in 3 games, the Dodgers had a no hitter going into the ninth, and I'll show you what happened in Baltimore.
Oh, we have video.
Yeah. So this is what happened in Baltimore with 2 outs in the ninth inning.
Holiday to right field. That ball is hit deep at the wall. It's gone. Jackson Holiday ends the no-hitter with 1 out to go. He ends the shutout as well. Kelsner takes the breaking ball low. He walks in a run. The Orioles are within 3-2. Rivera up the middle. Base hit. Mateo around third. Mateo will score. One more magical moment in time.
And then 2 days later, in the ninth inning, with 2 outs, this happened.
It's just taking a little bit, huh?
Scott's 0-1. Golf to left field, twisting around his call. It's over his head, and it's the first hit of the game for the Rockies.
I'm so glad they booed.
Two teams that are not good. The Dodgers are defending world champions. They lost no hitters to two teams that are not good. One of them being the worst team in the league, Colorado
In
Rockies.
both, and what? Not that the Orioles are the worst team in the American League, but they're pretty.
They're pretty bad.
You know what though? They like
But the
last night.
Rockies are the worst team in the entire league.
They're bad.
They're already eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, they're bad.
They've lost at least. And when I looked the other day, they lost 104 games already.
Yeah, they're bad.
Excuse me. So just wanted to put that out there. We got some Eagles things to talk about real quick. But before I do that, I just want to give a shout out to LeBron James and Chris Paul.
Dude,
Uh,
I gotta say this. When you, this is stupid. I just go ahead and say your piece.
Shout out to them. They were part of the Redeem team. The Redeem team was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame, the Naismith Hall of Fame. They were on that team, and all the players as well as all the coaches, Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski, Jim Boeheim was um, on that coaching staff. Um, Trying to think the name of the guy that was the head coach of the Phoenix Suns when they were good with Steve Nash and them. He ended up coaching the Sixers for a little bit too. I can't think of his name right now, but yeah, that whole coaching staff, all of them. The Redeem team was inducted into the Hall of Fame. The Redeem team, for those that don't know, um, quick history lesson. When the United States started putting professional athletes into the basketball tournament in the Olympics back in '92, they were winning gold medals very handily from that point until about 2004. Yeah, 2004, because the
Sounds
Redeem
about
team
right.
was 2008. So in 2004, the United States ended up winning bronze because they thought they could just throw any NBA players out there and they were going to come back with the gold. And they learned the hard way they could not. 4 years later, they put a team together. That's when they started actually really like putting some thought into the team. And the team ended up going undefeated, winning gold. Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, all those guys were on the team. Um, and they called them the Redeem team because they were the team that won gold after the United States didn't win gold. And they've been winning gold ever since. But now that that history lesson has been said, I'm going to let you have the floor, Miguel, and tell me why it's stupid.
I just think it's ridiculous. Like, you're still playing and you go into the Hall of Fame. It just sounds ridiculous to me.
So I understand what you're saying because when I first saw it, I was like, but
Because I don't know.
yeah,
It ruins
it's
the.
not like okay, LeBron James was selected to the Hall. I mean, he will be, but it's not
Right.
like he was elected to the Hall. The team was, and he was on. That's like Nick Foles' jersey going to the Hall of Fame. Like he was still playing. His jersey goes to the Hall of Fame because he threw 4 touchdowns like Al Bundy or something, and his jersey goes in the Hall of Fame. Now Nick Foles technically is in the Hall of Fame, but you know, I don't think it's stupid. I think they probably should have waited till everybody was not playing anymore.
That's what I'm getting at. Like,
But it is kind of cool. Like I don't know. Was the Dream Team? Is the Dream Team in the Hall of Fame? Probably. I've been to the Hall of
they
Fame.
should be.
Yeah, I think it's 2021. I went to the Hall of Fame 2020, 2021.
Is the NBA Hall of Fame the only one you've been to?
Yes and no. So the NBA Hall of Fame is the only Hall of Fame I've been to out of the like 4 majors.
Mm.
However, I have been to I think it's called the American Sports Hall of Fame or just the Sports Hall of Fame. I think it's in New York.
Okay.
I've been to that. Um, and I real quick, I don't know what I was expecting when I went to the Hall of Fame, the NBA Hall of Fame, but I wasn't expecting what I saw. I mean, it was cool. I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? But I didn't know, I didn't know it was going to be like a museum. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what I thought it was going to be. Like I didn't know it was just going to be like exhibits of. I didn't know it was going to be like exhibits of jerseys and stuff. I thought it would be like a room. I just thought it would be a little something different. So I thought it would be
Like
um
interactive?
like when I think of the NFL Hall of Fame and they have the busts, I'm thinking about like it's going to be the room with the busts in it.
Oh, okay,
You
I
know what I
got
mean?
you.
I thought it was gonna be something like that. Like I thought it was probably gonna be a little less than what it was, but at the same time, still kind of nostalgic. But what I saw, I mean, they had a lot of stuff in there. Like they had I think they had a thing. Was it Shaq? They had like a life size thing of Shaq in there, and a life size thing of like Muggsy Bogues in there. So and then they had like Yao Ming. So you could like it was stuff like that you could see in there, old school jerseys and uniforms and stories and videos and stuff like that. One cool thing though about the Basketball Hall of Fame, and then we'll move forward. It's levels. Like so, the building itself is not like wide. It's more like a
Mhm.
column,
Okay,
and you start on the third floor and you work your way down. I don't
got
remember if it's third or not, but you start at the top, but you work your way down. On the last floor is a basketball court, and you can shoot on the basketball court. But they have like a regular basketball court. They have all the different types of baskets that they had throughout.
Wow.
So you can shoot on a peach basket.
That's
Like,
cool though.
yeah, that was pretty cool. And it's funny because you shoot on the peach basket, you make it right. You make a basket on red court, the net swings, the ball comes right out. You make it on the peach basket, that thing got to take its time coming down. So you're just kind of like waiting,
Right.
and then you catch it. So it's like
That's
that
funny.
was a cool experience to have that because I never shot on a peach basket before. Trash cans and milk crates stuff like that, yes, but peach
Yeah,
basket first time. Um,
that's funny.
so last week we were on, and we were 24 hours away from the Eagles starting their season. Since then, they have started their season, then they've gone on to win in that first game, right? But before the doggone game even really gets started, the Eagles' best defensive player gets ejected from the game for one of the lowest things you can do to a person. I'll just put it like that. It's one of the lowest things you can do to a person. He spit on quarterback Dak Prescott for the Dallas Cowboys. Um,
Yeah,
Stuff
no.
later on comes out that he was kind of Dak spit at him first, but didn't spit on him.
Yeah.
Um, and that whole thing. Since then, he's been fined. Miguel, like I know how I felt when I first saw it. How did you? Did I text you? I think I
Yeah,
texted you.
you said that was absolutely stupid, and
Okay,
and
I'll
and it
text you.
was. It was. It's like like, come on, dude. Like, I get, you know, respect, blase. It's like, dude, you got to grow up. And I can't remember who I heard talking. Oh, it was Ray Didinger was taught. He did a whole thing. Ray Didinger, for those that don't know, is a Hall of Fame sports writer for Philadelphia. I think he wrote for the Inquirer, and recently retired. But he made a comparison between great players because that's the potential that Jalen Carter has. And he talked about a player called Mean Joe Green, who was part of the Steel Curtain defense way back in the 70s. He said he had a history in the beginning. He spit on everybody. He spit in everybody's face. He had a
Mm,
real bad anger management issue, whatever. And he said his coach, Chuck Noll, was like, he challenged him and said, listen, people look up to you, but they're going to look up to you and follow you for the right reasons or for the wrong reasons. You make the choice. And then it stopped.
hmm.
And I can't remember, there was another Hall of Fame player he brought up too, similar thing. Like literally, they would spit, they would fight, they would do all these, get into crazy altercations and stuff like that. But it took coaches, other players to like, yo, you got to cut this out. And I remember there was a couple games last year. Like he gives me like Namdi Kansu vibes. Like I just picture him like stepping on somebody's hand or like choking somebody out in a game because he's out of control sometimes. And I get like you got to play with an edge, you got to play with an attitude, which I like. But then you turn it into something stupid like this, then you cost your team. You know, you almost cost your team the win. That the Eagles should have blown out the Cowboys on Thursday night. They should have blown them out.
Um,
And but the first thing they did, remember the whole strategy for the Cowboys, just about was to run where J- Jalen wasn't, and they were successful until until the second half.
um, so let me say a couple things. First of all, yeah, that was absolutely stupid. I feel like Jalen Carter is kind of piggybacking off of what you were saying earlier. I feel like Jalen Carter's if he continues doing these types of things, he will be on the only people I can really kind of compare to right now. Draymond Green from the Golden State Warriors, Rasheed Wallace when he played in the NBA. They're going to be looking for you to do something stupid now,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, as soon as you do an inkling of something stupid, it's going to
Yep,
be a flag.
you got a big old target on your back.
You got a target on your back. You're developing a reputation. Um, like Rasheed Wallace would get technical fouls sometimes for no reason,
Yeah,
for looking at a referee.
yeah.
For look, my favorite Rasheed Wallace technical foul. He fouled somebody, but he got called for a foul, right?
Mm.
But I don't think he actually fouled the person, right? He got called for a foul, and dude that he fouled goes to the foul line, takes his foul shot, and he misses. And Rasheed Wallace, you can hear it on camera. Rasheed Wallace goes, "Ball don't lie," and he got a tech for that. Referee gave him a tech for that. So that's my favorite Rasheed Wallace technical foul right there. But I mean, you don't want to have that reputation in this sport, right? Because you can in basketball, you cause your team a couple of points.
Yeah.
In this sport, you cause your team a couple of yards. It could be everything. It's a game of inches, and you could cost them yards. We can't have that, Mr. Carter. We can't have that. I know you're young, and I know you're like 24, 23 years old. I know you're a youngin. Probably might be younger than that. But can't have that, man. Got to keep it under control.
I mean,
Um,
at least he didn't get suspended because they pretty much said that him being ejected and missing the entire game kind of acted as a suspension. So
yeah, and honestly, I'll tell you what, and I've said it in conversation. I believe I don't know if I said it on this show in another. I don't think so. I don't think we had a spitting incident on the show, but um, you spit on somebody, you deserve everything that's coming to you, whatever that may be. Whatever that may be, you deserve everything that's coming to you. And I'm gonna just put it like that. Um, oh yeah, because we talked about that umpire last week, and we feel like I think the guy may have spit on him, and you spit on somebody, you get everything. You gonna get everything that you deserve it.
mhm.
Moving on from that, we'll go to of course, like we said, the Eagles got their win over the Cowboys. You felt like they should have blown them out going into it. Like I was feeling like they probably should have blown them out, but I really feel like people are underrating the Cowboys. Right? They lost Micah, and I can understand that. Like that defense is shreddable, right? Very shreddable. But I think people tend to forget that the Cowboys were division champs just the year before last. So
Year
we're
before last, what does that mean now?
that means that most of the players that played on that team are still there and they're still capable of being a decent team. The only reason they didn't really, I feel like they didn't make the playoffs last year or have a good season last year because Dak was hurt. They had the pieces. I mean, they lost a piece with Micah Park, but they had the pieces. I know you're an emotional Philadelphia fan. You can't give Dallas no credit, and I feel you on that.
Not give Dallas no credit. The
But
proof is in there's results that there's they
Dallas,
lost.
Dallas going to win some games. I'll tell you what. CD Lamb makes a couple catches. That game might be a totally different. We might be talking about what do the Eagles
But
need to fix because they
but
still.
see, here's the thing, because CeeDee Lamb has a history of having those moments, because he had those moments last year where he's an emotional NFL player and doesn't do everything the right way all the time, and whatever. But I just can't, for everybody to say, even the person, I had a Cowboy fan sitting actually on my couch. I still got to spray it down. But I had a Cowboy fan sitting in my home. Even he was like, "Oh, here comes the interception." You know what I mean? Or here comes the
Did
whatever.
Dak throw an interception? Because I don't think I made it through
No,
the rain delay or
you
the
you
light,
you 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 know what the turning point was, right?
the rain delay, the lightning delay,
No, Mr. Miles Sanders.
the fumble.
Fumble from Miles Sanders.
Yeah,
Because
because they were well on their way to score to scoring right there because the Eagles
they
were
really
not
were.
stopping. Eagles what they couldn't stop them. That first they could not
And
stop them.
I believe that was his last carry. Because
Oh
he had,
really? He threw the ball back after that.
I don't think he had another carry the rest of the game, because I kept telling him, I was like,
Right after that was the lightning delay.
I believe so.
It was the light because the Eagles scooped up the ball, got tackled, and then they were going to be on offense. That's when the lightning delay happened. Look, all I'm gonna say is I'm not saying that they're going to be a great team. I'm just saying don't sleep on the Cowboys this year. Don't sleep on them.
Don't what?
Don't sleep on the Cowboys. Don't sleep on them.
Okay.
You saying that they won the division the year before. I said it, but you saying like, what does that mean? Would be like me saying a couple years ago, look, the Eagles went to the Super Bowl last year. They should have won. They ain't got nothing to do with the previous, the next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they had a great season up until a certain point, and then they just lost like 17 straight games and made the playoffs and got trounced in the playoffs. But that's a whole nother story. I don't want Eagles fans to relive that. Don't sleep on the Cowboys. Don't sleep on the Cowboys. You making this face, don't sleep on the Cowboys. Okay. All right. Okay. You do that. You do that. You do that. Don't forget they were right there hanging with the Eagles before Dak went down last year. People forget. They were right there.
And what did Dak do? He stepped out
He
of
got
bounds
hurt.
on the one.
He got
No.
hurt.
You remember the first game? He stepped out of bounds on the one, and he threw a pick. What he always does.
Absolutely. I'm not here to big up Dak Prescott. I'm just telling you, don't sleep on the Cowboys. Because people think they're going to be the Giants, and they're not. They're going to smoke the Giants.
Oh, and they should. Absolutely, they should. Everybody should smoke the Giants.
Everybody should smoke the Giants. Cowboys are going to smoke the Giants. Cowboys might even beat the Commanders. And I know my Commanders fans out there, my friends that are Commanders fans, do not like hearing me say that. Cowboys might beat the Commanders this year. I'm not big on the Commanders this year. I'm not. I think
So wait a
they'll
minute.
be competitive, but I'm not big on them this year.
Wait. They lose one of the best ends in football, and you think they're on the same level as the Commanders, if not better?
I'm just saying they can. I'm saying they can beat the Commanders. Remind me what the score was last week. What was the score?
25-20?
24-20. That's what it was. 24-20.
24-20, yeah.
So the defending champs beat them by 4.
Without the all-pro defensive tackle.
So
How does that not mean anything?
That's his fault. That's his
No,
fault.
I
It's
get
not like
that.
he
Okay,
got
but you could also say
that's his fault. He
you
can do it
could-
again.
you can also say that the Eagles won in spite of not having their all-pro defensive tackle. You could spin it that.
You could say that. However, let's not forget that the Eagles could not stop the Cowboys in that first half.
Right, because they didn't have the best defensive player.
Okay. So what you're saying is that one player accounted for everything.
Yes.
So what did that one player do on offense? What could he have done on the Eagles
You,
offense?
no,
Not
no,
a
no, no,
damn
no,
thing.
no, no, no,
Not a
no.
damn
What,
thing.
to me, the score could have easily been 24-10, maybe 24-7.
Talking
And still be,
you're talking ifs.
so are you.
Ifs. You're talking no, I'm talking about what happened out there.
No, I get that, but I'm saying they
I
still.
didn't say I didn't say
They're,
if Micah didn't get traded, the Cowboys probably would
here's
have won. I didn't
here's what
say
I'm
that.
saying. The Eagles can win. They find ways to win. The Cowboys find ways to
Absolutely.
lose. The Cowboys find ways to lose, and that's their
And they
history
did.
right now.
And they did that. They found a
Exactly.
way to
So
lose that.
that's why even with Dak Prescott, I'll settle this. Dak Prescott can win a Super Bowl, not in Dallas. I don't think he will ever win unless Jerry Jones finally dies. Then there's a possibility. But I don't think he can win in Dallas. I don't think he will.
Now, it's hard to win in Dallas with Jerry Jones. It's hard because
That's what I'm saying.
like
It's
we said, Jerry
important.
Jones ain't interested in winning anymore. He's interested in making money.
Right.
That's what his interests are. However,
That's why I can sleep for days on the Cowboys.
okay, all right. They got a pretty good receiving core. They got a pretty decent running backs room. They still have a decent offensive line.
They have a pretty good running backs room that fumbled the ball twice.
Fumbles happen. Jalen Hurts fumbled the ball in the Super Bowl and the Eagles lost. Does that make him terrible?
No, because he came right back 2 years later, won the Super Bowl, and shut
Two
everybody
years
out.
later, but you ain't know that 2 years ago. Was he terrible 2 years ago? No, he made one mistake that cost him the game. Miles Sanders made that mistake. I think that cost them the game. Like you said, that was the turning point. I think that cost them the game
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
because did the Eagles scored after that or no? No,
No,
nobody
no,
scored
no,
after.
no, no. Nobody scored after. That was the
Nobody
thing.
scored after. So if we don't force that fumble, defense, good job. Eagles don't force that fumble, Cowboys probably win that game because nobody scores after that.
Right.
Cowboys were well on their way to scoring because the Eagles hadn't stopped them up
Because
to that.
they were in Eagles territory, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
They crossed like the
They were.
30, I think that happened. Yeah. At
They
the
were.
very
And
least, they
it
could
was
have.
at that when that run happened before the fumble. I was like, Eagles gonna lose this game because they just could not stop. They couldn't stop the offense.
Mhm.
Here's what I will say because one of the things one of the issues was with the cornerbacks. The
Yeah.
the cornerbacks are questionable. I'm interested in seeing how the cornerbacks, how much better the cornerbacks might fare with Jalen Carter in the game, putting that
I
pressure
was
on.
I was thinking about that too because like Adoree Jackson he looked kind of lost, or maybe it was the pressure. You know what I mean? And for the record, my phone auto corrects his name to Adobe Johnson for some stupid reason. So, so me, Brian, and my boy Darren, he's officially called Adobe Johnson for the rest of the year.
Toby Johnson
Um,
sounds freaky.
yeah. But I mean, to the Eagles' credit, though, that they held Dallas to 0 points in the second half. So
Yeah. Yes, they did. Was the score 24-20 at halftime, or the Eagles scored after? I don't remember.
I
I
think the
think
Eagles scored coming back from the half. Yeah, don't get me the line. I'd have to rewatch it.
because I think they had the ball second half, and I think
Mhm.
yeah, don't give me the line either. Um, Word comes out today. Dallas Goedert is hurt. Maybe not injured, but hurt already. Um, I feel like we had this conversation on this show every year about Dallas Goedert being hurt. Um, they re-signed him over the summer, or restructured the contract. No, they re-signed because he would have been a free agent. they allowed him to say, they gave him the opportunity to see if they could find a better deal, and I don't think he did, which is why the Eagles were able to re-sign him I believe, at a lower cost. The tight end is the quarterback's best friend, especially when AJ Brown is kind of hampered right now. Devontae's a little hampered too. Um, do you think this is a big deal going into this Chiefs game? Because we saw the Chiefs on Friday night.
I don't think it's necessarily the biggest deal. No, because I think with Jalen Carter playing, hopefully keeping his saliva to himself, we'll have a much better defense. And if it's the same, other than three or four guys that are missing, if it's the same, just about the same front four, hopefully, Kermit the Frog will be running for his life.
I'm interested in seeing the growth of Jordan Davis this year.
Yes.
He almost had a sack the other day on Dak, and I don't know
Yep.
how. I don't know how
I don't
Dak.
know how
I don't know how he got out of that sack, but he did.
yeah.
And kudos to him because Jordan Davis, he's like twice my size, at least twice my size, professional athlete, and I could have sworn he had Dak wrapped up and just
Yeah.
somehow Dak just escaped. But I'm really interested in seeing his growth because he was brought in really to be that run stopper. And he had to be a little bit more with Jalen Carter out of the game. He had to be kind of leaned on to be a little bit more. So um, I'm wondering how that role might affect him going forward. Um, does he feel like he's lost weight, he got in better shape from reports. Does he feel like he can get after that quarterback now, or will he just kind of step back and let Jalen do his thing? But Jalen gonna get doubled.
Yeah.
Jalen's gonna cause problems. Jalen's gonna get doubled and tripled. So. And I can't wait to see. I wish Jim Johnson was our defensive coordinator because I would love to see Jahad Campbell coming off the edge, blitzing, or coming up the middle, blitzing, or something like that. Like Jim Johnson was my favorite defensive coordinator for the Eagles. So
Yeah,
I
he definitely knew how to. To me, a good defensive coordinator knows how to hide
yeah,
their vulnerabilities on defense.
yeah, and I think Vic Fangio does a good job of that. But I feel
Well,
like it takes him a few weeks to make that happen.
because you got to know what your players can do and what your players can do, and you know who's really who's really butthurt about Vic Fangio? The Miami Dolphins,
Oh,
because
yeah.
there was a couple players on defense that were like, they were on social media. They say he can kick rocks. He's
Mhm.
old and fogey, blah, 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 blah. So he went from coaching the 30th best defense in all of football to number one
And winning a Super Bowl.
and winning a Super Bowl. So to the Miami Dolphins, I give you fake middle finger. You know what I mean?
um, we got some videos, right? You're stumping me today.
And I'm somebody, yeah. So I'll just do like three real quick videos. This one's a big dummy, but I want you to guess by the screenshot what's gonna happen next.
All right,
Let's see.
People on
All right,
skateboards.
I check it out because So is it? T- what are they playing? Wiffle ball or something?
No, let's do this. Let me move it up
Is
a
it like
little bit more.
a?
Okay, I'll do that image. How's that?
Okay, there's somebody. Scooter.
Yeah. So what's the word? What do you think is gonna happen?
He's riding on a scooter and he falls. Like goes maybe a ramp or something. Maybe
Okay. All right, let's check it out.
or a railing or something like that.
Okay, let's check it
And
out.
the scooter breaks. Let's say the scooter breaks.
Okay, let's check it
I
out.
hope the scooter breaks.
Ooh. At least you had your helmet on. Shed door. Roofman. Mississippi State University. Go Bulldogs.
That was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. Damn. Got lit up.
Now, this was something really freaky happened at a Clemson football game. The the video board does something that it's not supposed to do. It catches fire.
And I'm pretty sure the people that were there did not know that that wasn't supposed to be happening.
Yeah.
It looked like it was part of the show.
It really did.
I wouldn't have known it if it wasn't part of the video that said the thing caught on fire. I wouldn't have known.
Yeah. And last but not least, just a little chuckle at Aaron Nola's post game interview as everyone caught the glimpse of a sound that you normally hear in locker rooms, but not during live television.
Just to get those guys out, and especially to get Soto.
Play it again because it's easy to miss.
Okay, there you go. Ready? Everybody, put your ears to the TV or to the monitors.
Just to get those guys out, and especially to get Soto.
So that had been like called the Phillies tutor or something like that.
I mean, to his credit,
Tutor or something like that.
I mean, he just kept. I mean, he got himself together and kept right on with the interview.
Shout out to whoever did it.
What?
Why not? Shout out to whoever fought it.
Never heard that one before.
So the Phillies have a NL. Their lead in the NL East is now up to 10 games. Shout out to the Phillies.
How about that?
Magic number is now 7. All right, so you're stumping me today, right?
That would be correct if I can get everything onto the correct screen.
You know what's great? So while you're doing that, the conversation we had last week, because you mentioned how disappointed you were in me. I was thinking about the conversation about how I say I don't know jersey numbers. I
Mhm.
don't know jersey numbers. Like if you say, what was such and such a number? I might remember it, but if you're wearing, let's say you're wearing a Reggie White jersey, and I see it, I'm like, oh, you got that Reggie White jersey on. But if you ask me what's Reggie White's number, I'll be like, oh damn, what was Reggie White's number? It's the weirdest thing for me. Yeah, it don't make sense. I know. Go ahead, say it. Don't make sense.
It doesn't. It absolutely doesn't.
When you see the jersey, for me, when you see it, actually see it in person, it's different from seeing it on a damn computer screen in a circle. It's a lot different.
Okay.
And it's very hard in the square. A one-time Super Bowl champion. We're number 14 for the Dolphins,
Yes.
18 for the Packers.
Yes.
I'm going to say 14 for the Eagles
Yes.
and 18 for the Browns.
Yes. You got him. Congratulations.
Can you give me the time frame of the career? It looks like it's a quarterback. Ty
9.
Detmer?
No. Almost was, but no. He was in the 90s and very early 2000s.
Not Ty Detmer, not Coy Detmer.
No.
Falcon. I'm sorry. Dolphins, Packers, Eagles, Browns. And is that the career? The
Mhm.
first Dolphins, then Packers. And you said 90s to early 2000s?
Yes.
14. That was 14. for the Dolphins. Quarterback, right?
Correct.
That was number 18 as a quarterback. Um,
So I'll give
I'm
you
gonna
one hint.
say I don't think he ever played for the Eagles though. Actually, it's not Bernie Kosar, right?
Oh no, he played for the Cowboys,
Kosar played for the Cowboys. He did play for
but
the
not
Cowboys,
the Eagles.
and he also played for the Jets too, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
18. It's a backup quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
a career backup for the most part.
For the most part, but he had some opportunities.
I feel like the Browns one is the. I feel like that's where I should. That's where I should be focused on the Browns. Like who Browns number 18 quarterback, late 90s, early 2000s. Browns. Late 90s quarterback for the Eagles, 14. Trying to think of some of the it's not Rodney Pete.
Nope, he was number 9.
Doug Peterson.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, of course Doug Peterson would be wearing number 18 as a quarterback.
And I was gonna start throwing some hints at you because the game you see him in the Dolphins jersey there. He was actually the quarterback when Don Shula won the most NFL games in history
At the vet.
at the Vet. Yep,
Yeah.
and he was the quarterback. And Doug Peterson was the backup to Brett Favre, who won the Super
Yep.
Bowl. He was his backup. And we know that Doug Peterson was the one that played the first 8 games in the Donovan McNabb era to transition him into the NFL.
I got it. It's been a while, but I got it.
The streak is over. The
Wait, did I get
losing
it
streak
last
is over.
week?
Huh?
I got it last week, didn't I? Yeah, I got it last week too. So we on a new streak, 2 in a row. But last week was Brian Mitchell.
That's right. That's right. Or as Howard Eskin calls him affectionately, B bitch.
Brian Mitchell. All right, well, look, we're gonna get up out of here. We appreciate y'all hanging with us for on the midweek. We get you over that hump day the night. Tomorrow you got football tomorrow. Friday, I'm sure probably some college football. Go find something to do. Saturday you got some college football. Sunday you got NFL football. Monday you got NFL football. So we getting you through that part of the week where it's like, come see us on Wednesdays. All right. With that being said, we're going to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all hanging with us here on the Check Swing Podcast here on New Twist Radio. Make sure you subscribe to the New Twist Radio YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to Miguel's YouTube channel. And make sure you subscribe to or follow us on Instagram. That would be Check Swing PC on Instagram. All right. With all that being said, we appreciate y'all hanging with us. We're going to get up out of here. We'll talk to y'all next week. Peace.
I look at you,